Hi, my name is Hiba and I'll be speaking about information design.
Hi, I'm Ro and I'll be talking about information design.
I'm Emily and I'm talking about information design.
Hi, I'm Robin and I'll be talking about my project for information design.
So information design for me is the design process of creating user-centered design outcomes by developing complex solutions to real-world issues. And I chose the brief that was centered on data visualization. I also chose my own topic, so I did childhood tuberculosis. So I created an extension campaign, which is called World Tuberculosis Day, and I created a poster series and bus adverts that will be displayed in the walls of schools and parks in developing countries. I believe that posters and bus adverts were the most appropriate in terms of context, the environment, the users. I learned a lot from this project. I learned that obviously design is user-centered, but I just learned to always refer back to the users and not always think about, what can I do that's the most ambitious, or what can I do that's the most different, because I have to be realistic sometimes.
I did a data visualization on penicillin allergies. So we had to understand the topic of penicillin resistance and allergies because they are really overdiagnosed in the UK. In the end, I ended up producing a series of cards. I decided to make it into cards to make it more digestible. And then I produced two posters, one for patients and one for clinicians to be used in doctors' surgeries and hospitals. And then I also produced a short animation. I learned more about focusing on what the user needs in a more deep, meaningful way. So you have to think about what the user needs, and then you have to think again and go deeper and deeper to really get to the root of what the user needs and what the user wants from the process.
Basically, we started the first 3-4 weeks, we were literally just looking at the topic and everything around it. So it was exploration, finding data and then condensing it. I decided at the beginning that I wanted to do packaging because with penicillin misdiagnosis, you can always think that it's an allergy because of what it says on the packet. So that's where I went with mine. And then it kind of got to like week 6-7-ish, and then we started the design phase. One of the struggles we actually had was where we found out so much about the topic, we ended up forgetting that some people might not know what things like antihistamines are, for example. So you'd overlook like really simplistic things.
My deliverable was just like a flashcard pack, which has all the information. So it's in 3 sets. So the first set is explaining what the problem is, and the second pack is if they have changed their medication, it outlines what a normal side effect of penicillin medication is and something that they shouldn't be worried about, so they can monitor their patient and see if they have these side effects, then they are temporary and they'll go away. But it also outlines what is a genuine penicillin allergy. And then the final third section of the pack is basically explaining how you can try and get informed consent from your patient if they are able to give it to you.
So information design really just opened my eyes and just made me see that design can actually create change.
The main takeaway point would be not to think on the surface and to really go deeper, and then you can't really ever go deep enough with information design.
There's this whole theory of how you perceive data really depends on how it's shown to you. So it could be if you could say 25% of people feel this thing, which doesn't sound that scary, but then if you say that as 1 in 4 people feel this thing, that sounds a lot more scary.